Bishop Brown. I'm the Chief Technology Officer for Weigand Construction. Weigand Construction is a general contractor based in Fort Wayne, Indiana. We employ about 400 people. My role here is to facilitate all of our technology and how they interoperate, especially as we get into more applications and get away from the traditional client server work that we've had in the past. We looked at automation. This started actually pre-Procore a few years back as we onboarded PlanGrid, and we had a lot of concerns over how are we going to keep the redundant information that we're now going to have to do from Sage 300, which is the platform we're coming from, into PlanGrid, and just yet another data set that we got to keep current. And so in our discussions with PlanGrid on how they brought forward an automation tool that no longer exists. And that's what started us thinking about how we could use that. As we've come along this journey over the year of getting Procore running and implemented and do that, as we have new challenges, one of the first defaults is, well, can Workato help us do this? So even today, I'm working on another tool set that we're going to use Workato to do to help automate timesheet gathering and reporting. Nothing that we set out to do a year ago, but it's a need that we have, that we now know we have the tool in-house to do it. We have the expertise. And so it's just unlocked a lot of potential for us that we knew going into it that the value was there. And so it wasn't really a hard sales job to say, hey, as we earmark for Procore, we're going to earmark a slice for Workato. And so, because we just knew going into it that we are growing as a company, we need to scale well, and automation is going to be a piece of how we get there. We don't say, all right, how are we going to do the same business process we did before with the new system? Now we can look at it and say, well, what's the most effective way of getting this thing done? Using Workato, we've implemented the Microsoft Teams workbot, and chatting with Workato, which the users don't know they're interacting with Workato. They just know the robot's helping them talk to Procore in their mindset, and so they're generating new information in Procore through a chat system, and that started with a conversation of just not, well, how are we going to use this PDF file that we've always used to start a new job and make that work with this? It's, well, what if we had a magic wand and could wave it and do it any way we wanted to? It was more of a natural conversation with chatting that led us to that. On my team, so we're very small IT. There's currently 3 of us, and I have a 4th quasi IT person. All of us are in it, but it is so fast to set up that by the time I explain to them what I want, I've already built it. So this happened the other day, the timesheets thing. I thought it would take a couple weeks to build, and it took me 2 hours. I have relied on the support team a ton. That support chat, it seems like every single time I need to do something, I end up going over there and getting an answer. And they respond so fast, and they're very helpful. I've yet to not have a question answered. As the construction industry technology fragments and grows so much, we tend to buy best of breed apps. So I've got an app that does daily logs, and an app that does time, and an app that does X, Y, and Z. Connecting them together to make a cohesive tool set that can run business logic is what's going to set people apart.